Hello guys, how are you? I hope my sound is fine. Please let me know if uh, you can hear me well. I want to start by saying hello to the troll. As you remember well, I had a troll attack in the last live, so thank you, man, for that. That means that this channel is becoming VIP, I think. So I just want to say that I'm very confused, guys. I don't know what do you think so far after this first week of the process, but I'm freaking confused. I was expecting to have some answers, and actually I have more questions that I had before the process is crazy. I want to see, guys, what do you think in the please comment in the chat because to me nothing makes sense anymore. Uh, before before talking about the sloppy job, in my opinion, that the prosecution is doing during this process, uh, I just want to say that one of the things I was expecting to hear about or to learn about was the Richard Allen's cell phone. I think that is one of the main elements here to have some kind of how can I say sense to see what was really happening there on the 13th. Uh, Apparently, that cell phone is nowhere. We don't know where is the Richard Allen's cell phone, the cell phone he was using the day of the murders. The cell phone data was something that was gonna answer a lot of questions, but apparently, when law enforcement went to the Richard Allen's house to recover the devices, the electronic devices he had, there were like I don't know, like 10 or 11 cell phones, but the one he was using the day of the murders was not there. So I don't understand that, guys. He is because he discarded that phone to hide what he was doing that day, or it was law enforcement who is not interested in presenting the data that the cell phone is showing because it's not in benefit of his of their narrative. It's so weird, and so far the prosecution is doing so bad, in my opinion, that I wouldn't be surprised if that cell phone was just uh, not collected by law enforcement or destroyed, as they destroyed a lot of evidence here in this process because maybe it's not in benefit of their agenda or their narrative. And you know, I'm not a conspiracy theorist here, guys, but nothing makes sense anymore. I don't know what do you think, but really, I was expecting to have information about that cell phone to see where was Richard Allen exactly at every single minute on the 13th, but apparently we don't have that cell phone. So I just wanted to start with that point because it's so sad. We don't have that piece of evidence, apparently. So continuing with my point here about the sloppy job that the prosecution is making or performing or conducting during this investigation. Uh, I, I'm so surprised. I cannot understand how benevolent we are with the mistakes that the prosecution is making. Uh, uh, it's like we are minimizing every single mistake uh, that we learn every day from the prosecution. Something like they didn't collect the sticks the first day of the discovery of the bodies because the sticks were not of items of evidentiary value. I cannot understand that, guys. That is fucking stupid, really. How can you say if you are a CSI technician, something trained in that field, something that has a good salary, we are paying freaking money for the salary of these guys, and they say that they didn't collect the sticks because they were not items of evidentiary value. Come on, guys. What is that? It's like an amateur job in a case of this magnitude. It's not acceptable. Ah, can you be more stupid? And people just accept that as even Rukus. I was having like a little not fight but discussion and in one of the chats, and he was accepting that, and I love Rukus, but he was no items of not evidentiary value. Come on, man, how can you say that? And you are law enforcement, really? You cannot say that, man. It makes me mad. Sticks that now we learned that some of those sticks they had blood, and they didn't collect the sticks because no evidentiary values is so stupid. Really, I cannot understand that, and I cannot understand how can we minimize this type of mistakes. It's a sloppy investigation, and it's generating questions every single day. Hello, Sinclair. Thank you so much for being here, as usual. So really, that makes me mad. The first day we were talking about the hair that was found in Abby's hand. Hello, Steve. How are you? I'm so happy to have you here. Steve is the boss, man. So, mad respect for you. I'm not being overly impressed with the CSI or the firearm expert. Man, if you are saying that, no one better to say something like that. Is I agree 100% with you, and I'm so disappointed because I'm not an expert in anything here, but I'm just asking questions. I'm just trying to highlight things that doesn't make sense, especially if you are a law enforcement professional uh, with that kind of experience. How is that possible that you don't collect sticks? Because they are not items of evidentiary value. It's something that I cannot understand. That they had the hair in Abby's hand since day one. They tested the hair, but they didn't bother to check who was the match of that hair. Some is like investigation for dummies. It's the first thing you have to do. You don't have to be a CSI like Steve. So it's just common sense, guys. It's common sense, really. I'm so mad about that. Another argument they used was that in the past they never found DNA on sticks. Do you think that they had multiple crime scenes like this one in the past? Bodies with sticks are placed on the bodies to say that in the past, according to their experience, uh, they never found DNA on sticks. Okay, do you think they think we were stupid or what? I think it was maybe the first time they found bodies with sticks on them, on the victims. And they're saying that in the past, they never found something like that. Like, it's so common. It's like every week, there's a murder with sticks on the bodies. So let's say that, okay, you have experience in that field and you have a lot of murders where sticks are placed on the bodies, and you always collected those sticks in the past. Let's say, okay, I don't believe that, but let's say, and you never found DNA. It's not an it's not a reason to not to test or to collect the sticks again. It's not because you never found in the past that you're not gonna find in the future. It's so stupid, really. It's common sense, guys. I cannot, uh, I cannot understand that. And also, it's not only about DNA; it's about fibers. You can find fibers. You can find. You can analyze the type of cuts that we find in the sticks. There's a lot of information you can um obtain from those sticks. And you're saying that it's not an item of evidentiary value, an item that was in direct contact with the bodies. And we learned, I think it was yesterday or today, one of the witnesses, I think it was Doolin or Mullin, I don't remember, I'm mistaken maybe, but one of the law enforcement witnesses, they say that they found sticks with blood on them, like 2 days or uh, I don't know, I don't remember how many days after the day of the discovery of the bodies. So those sticks were just there in the middle of the forest, exposed to the elements, to the animals, to whatever who was there, just curious because the bodies were there. So no, I don't know. To me, that's unacceptable. I don't think uh, we can minimize those type of mistakes. I think that in the potential scenario that Richard Allen is going to be found not guilty, if that happens, that would be uh, on the prosecution shoulders. Is something like the Stephen Avery's case. Again, I repeat that, because of the stupidity of or the mistakes of the investigators. Something like that can happen. And I'm not pro Allen, you know that, but it's just that we cannot accept that. We cannot. Ah, I'm gonna go to the chat here a couple of seconds, guys. I have so many questions. Me too. It's like we have more questions than answers. I don't know. It's crazy. We were expecting to have some answers here, and we have more questions. What is that? Haddo's Mirror, one of the usual suspects here. So happy to have you here. Thank you so much for your presence. Nana is one of the usual suspects too. I love Nana. Hello, Cryptex. How are you? Disappointed in the CSI testimony. Me too. We should have Steve in that team. You should go, Steve, to do some training to those guys for real. Sinclair. If the Creek River was so high and fast moving, how the heck did they get across? I don't know. There's a lot of different information. I found some sources say that on the 13th, the flow was really high. It would be so difficult to cross, even if we had that kind of small island there. But other people say not that it was not the case. So I'm not sure. To me, it's a little bit weird. I wouldn't expect the killer at least planning to cross that creek. In my opinion, yeah, it's weird, but I wouldn't discard it as well. But yeah, it's a good question, and I don't know if that's one of the information that is going to be answered during this process. Let's see. Sinclair, if Richard Allen met the officer at the grocery store where everyone shops, why are they implying he was hiding something? It's a well populated grocery store. But at the beginning, he was not hiding anything, in my opinion. He went to this conservation officer to give his statement. So it doesn't seem that he was hiding anything at the beginning, in my opinion. He went to give some his statement. So it's slack across the board, like no one really cared. Okay. The picture of Abby on the bridge was procured from the internet and not Libby's phone. That's another point, and it's blowing my mind. Apparently, everything we can see in that video is enhanced, is like generated, or at least I don't know what's the good word to use here, exaggerated by uh, artificial intelligence, like extrapolation. I think that's the word they used. So remember at the beginning of this case when there were a lot of YouTubers and a lot of people saying that the pictures and the video were fake, and everyone was saying those people are crazy, those people are losing their minds. Today, guys, seriously, I don't know what to think anymore. It's not that crazy in apparently. So that video was altered. That video was manipulated. There were pictures that were never in Libby's phone. So I don't understand anything anymore. So maybe those crazy YouTubers are not that crazy, and the YouTubers that were using the logic were working with bad information, or with information that we thought was correct, but apparently it's not correct anymore. The the image of that bridge guy at that position in the bridge apparently is not the actual uh, image. It's something that was altered and generated by artificial intelligence. And what is really crazy about that is that a lot of people were using the bridge guy picture, and they were trying to do like image analysis in that pixelated and blurred image to match that guy with Ron Logan, with Chadwell, with Richard Allen, with Daniel Nations. Some image that from the beginning we know today that is already altered. So they were comparing and doing side by sides and doing height comparisons with an image that we cannot work with that because it was already altered by artificial intelligence. It's crazy. This is, to me, nothing makes sense anymore. So makes me mad, guys. Really, I don't understand anything. Steve, if you never open the door, you never find out what's on the other side. Exactly. You have to open the door. Again, my respect for Steve. Too much to learn from Steve, guys. The sticks out near trail for 20, yeah, like for 2 weeks. Wow. Can you understand that, guys? Can you? I can't, seriously. So disappointing, guys. Disappointed. So sad. Junior Johnson. Hola, Cryptex. Hola, Junior. How are you? Boston Christian. How are you, Boston? I hope everything is going well in Boston. Hi, Wata. I'm really disappointed in the evidence shown so far. These trials turning out to be a circus. It's embarrassing when the national news is questioning the narrative. Yeah, and it's so sad that we cannot see the process, like the videos, the broadcasting, let's say, because we are trying to believe, let's say, what the people that are in the courtroom they are able to hear. So we are doing the interpretation of the interpretation that some people are making there. I don't know if I'm clear about that, but at the end, we don't have the original source of the information, and those people are great. Tom Webster, Andrea, Bob Mora, if all of these guys that are doing that for us is awesome. But at the end, we don't have the original information, so things can be transformed when they are transferred from one source to the other source. So there's a factor of error there, in my opinion. So it's so sad, but anyways, it is what it is. And again, thanks to these guys for the job they're doing in the courtroom. And Anna, all of us has questions, confused. Yeah, for sure. It's crazy. And also, uh, what about the Ford Focus, the Richard Allen's car? They say that they didn't even bother to look for the quantity or the amount of Ford Focus that were in Delphi at the time. So it's like tunnel vision. It's a bad investigative job. Is so I'm so disappointed, guys. It's because you don't have to be an investigator to do that. You just have you just need to have common sense. That's it. It's just common sense. You see a black car which appears to be a Ford Focus. Go and do like a census or screening of how many cars like that are in Delphi, but they didn't bother to check. So seriously, Hybrid, glad you're live. Thank you so much. Glad you're here. Steve, if I interpreted the reporting correctly, the law enforcement who made first contact with Richard Allen when seeing the sticks at the scene days later knew their importance. Yeah, and he said there was blood on the sticks. So, hey, Nana, thank you so much. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I really appreciate that. Hi, Wata. Steve, that's the way I interpreted it. Thanks, Guy, for the clarification. The tip they reviewed years later was in a drawer to be input by a volunteer retired social worker, friends of the police. Yeah, that's another mystery. And you know, guys, what's my theory about the way Richard Allen was arrested and captured? I don't think it was a review of the tips or something random like that. To me, it was a result or a consequence of the interrogatory that law enforcement made to Keegan Klein at the Grissom Air Force Base. That's what I think. That's my theory. That's what makes sense to me when I connect the dots. I'm no one here, but that's what makes sense to me. To me, Keegan Klein was the the source of that arrest. In my opinion, Richard Allen is arrested today thanks to Keegan Klein. That's just my opinion, and you already saw the amount of videos I made about that. And don't listen to my videos. Go to watch Justice the Serve Daily. She has an awesome theory about that, and she can explain better than me. And she has a more documented way to explain that theory. I'm just trying to connect dots here, but she's like more professional in that sense than me. So you can check Justice Serve Daily. Go check her. Her channel is awesome. And Nana again here. Sinclair. The one investigator said there are deer blinds, but zero trail cameras. I always find cameras near blinds. That's really interesting. The deer blinds, because in the Tony Klein's theory, everything related to hunting is relevant, in my opinion, and the way the crime scene was presented to me, it is consistent with like a hunting scenario. You know that Tony Klein was proud to take pictures of deers and animals after killing them, and I don't know if those pictures are still in his Facebook account, but I remember those pictures. He was really proud to take pictures of those dead animals after killing them when hunting. And to me, it's like it was his trophy, you know. So the whole hunting scenario here makes sense to me. I think he knew the area. I think he went there via cemetery, and the the story that Keegan said about they were waiting, or he was waiting in a car while his father was killing the girls. To me, it's not a lie, and it's consistent when we see the sequence of events that led to the arrest of Richard Allen. Again, it's my opinion. I know, guys, that you don't agree with that, but feel free to disagree. And I'm looking forward for the Keegan Klein's testimony next week. I think next week he's gonna be transferred to the courtroom, and I hope he's gonna be able to testify. He complete the fifth amend. So I really hope he's gonna be allowed to talk, and he wants to talk, because to me he's gonna provide a lot of answers, in my opinion. I know that the speculation is that the defense is bringing Keegan Klein to say that he was forced to confess, and that's like part of the strategy of the defense. But let's see. At the end, it can be a card under the sleeve of the law enforcement. It could be like harakiri by the defense. They're gonna bring Keegan Klein to testify something that would be in benefit of the defense, but at the end it could be the opposite. He could be the source of the Richard Allen arrest, and they may be like a negotiation there. That's just my opinion, and I may be wrong. So, let's see. Let's wait for the next week, guys. Hiawatha, I've been watching the news Delphi debrief every night, not watching YouTubers' opinions. I would disagree here with you. Not disagree, but I think the information that is being provided by the YouTubers is more complete than the information we are getting from the news. I'm really thankful for having those guys, those YouTubers, in the courtroom, because the information they are providing is more complete. And if we have only the information from the news, we have nothing. So it's just my opinion. I'm really thankful to those guys that are doing the that awesome job, like Tom Webster, like Angela, even Bob Moda, and the other YouTubers. Sorry, Sinclair. Hiawatha, I'm watching legacy media and those who lean both ways, either pro defense or prosecution. Me too. I agree because at this point of the process, I think that the people who are convinced that Richard Allen is innocent, in my opinion, and sorry if I'm hurting your feelings, they're crazy. But in the same sense, the people who are full convinced that Richard Allen is guilty, they're fucking crazy because there's a lot of answers to obtain here, guys, and we are not seeing the whole evidence, and there's a lot of holes in the prosecution narrative, even in the defense narrative, something that doesn't make sense. Just not having the Richard Allen's phone. Where's his phone? That's basic here. That's we are gonna get answers right away. This is my phone. This is the data. I was checking on the stocks that day at X time, and then I went to my car. I went home. It's gonna show the whole path of his movements on that day, but we don't have that. So I don't know. Junior Johnson, I would look at everybody in Delphi. I think there's only 3,000 people. Yeah, good point. Iwata, at least you're getting both opinions. I personally don't want opinions of others, only facts. But we don't have facts. That's the problem. We have opinions. What is the fact? The fact is that, in my opinion, the sticks are not items of evidentiary value. This is not a fact at all. This is a stupid opinion. So it's a fucking stupid opinion. So I don't see any facts so far. And the witness, they're saying contradictory things. It seems that every witness saw a different person. So I don't see too much facts so far. There was a hair, and it was tested, but we don't know who is the match. So seriously, I I cannot understand what's going on here. Junior, they could garner cell phone tower data and excluded 900 people of the VAT. For real. If we have a town of 3,000 people, just by cell phone data, you can narrow to 200 or 100 since day one. Sloppy investigation. Boston Christian, hello, Boston again. Oh, Matt Sullivan is here. Hello, Matt. How are you, man? I love your thinking. I don't necessarily agree with you. Lately, I think I agree more than before, and I like the way you process the information and the way you challenge everything that is being presented here. And I'm glad to have you here, man, for real. I think you're here in Canada too, so winter is coming, man. Prepare yourself for that. Sinclair, Hiawatha. For me, I'm unimpressed with the prosecution, but that doesn't make Richard Allen guilty or innocent. I agree, but that make Richard Allen walk free. If in the scenario, if he's guilty, maybe because of the stupidity of law enforcement and the poor job they're doing, the jurors, who we can see that they're intelligent persons, maybe they're gonna say there's no reasonable doubt here to convict this guy. So that's a problem. That's a problem. Steve, Here, a novel idea. Put up posters around town of the cars caught on the camera, especially if they could identify wild styles. Probably would have worked better than the sketches. I'm so sad Steve was not part of those of that investigation team. Yeah, makes sense. It's just common sense. You don't have to be the brightest guy or the smartest guy in the room or the one with more years of university, whatever. It's just someone with common sense. But it seems that all of them, all of the non-common sense guys were put together to conduct this investigation. Matt, the issue with Keegan's testimony is that he's a proven liar. The prosecutor will destroy his testimony. Even for the state, it will be easy, and they are nearly moronic with their case. Yeah, but how can you explain that if he was a proven liar, the prosecution or the law enforcement, they went to the search of the Wabash River for I don't know how many weeks, 4 or 5 weeks, and they spent $1 million if they knew already that he was a proven liar. So to me, it doesn't make too much sense. I think they found that something was true in his statement, and I think they found something in the river that led to the arrest of Richard Allen. It's just my theory. I respect your opinion, but to me, just to say that he's a proven liar, I don't know. We cannot stay in the surface, in my opinion. I know I'm not saying that for you. I know that you go deep in your investigations, but just making my point here. Junior, I would think that more than half of the people are women and children. That would take it down to 1,500 males. Wouldn't take long to interview all of them. It's a good point. It's a good point. We are not talking about New York City or Mexico City or Shanghai. It's a town of 3,000 people. You're right. I agree 100%. Hiawatha. I'm pretty sure the defense is not calling Keegan Klein for a witness to tell the court his dad helped Allen. No, I know, of course. But what I said is that maybe the prosecution, they have a card under the sleeve, and having Keegan Klein is going to be more in benefit of the prosecution than instead of the defense. I don't know if I'm being clear here. I tried to explain that before, but I think you get my idea. Sinclair, $10 the Tony Shots account up. They never discussed that only Shots, Anthony Shots account. I don't understand your comment, Sinclair. A little bit lost with that. Mr. Steve, thank you. I wish you could been there in the beginning to help them lead them. Me too. Me too. 100%. Totally agree with you. Sorry, my mouse is playing. Excuse me, guys. Junior didn't even equate those numbers. To me, he was not that stupid, for real. He was able to lure a lot of girls and boys, and he was making money in the dark web. He was not that stupid. Everybody thinks that he was a freaking stupid fat guy, and I disagree. He's more than that. He's a pervert and a piece of shit, but I don't think he's stupid at all. Nana, not impressed with the prosecution so far. Agree, but what do I know? Surprise me. Matt Sullivan. Sorry. my mouse here. The defense cannot bring up the third-party suspects, including Kagan and Tony. They will simply be destroying the state's investigation. Yeah, that is possible. Let's see. I want to wait. I'm just so curious about what Keegan is gonna say. And we know that Keegan, sometimes he talks more than he's supposed to. So maybe they're gonna ask one question and he's gonna answer a total different thing that they're not gonna expect. So I don't know. I'm just curious about that. Truth Cryptex, I'm very grateful for their presence. Yeah, the YouTubers that are providing that information. 100%. Hi, Wata. I absolutely agree. We get more info from YouTubers, but we don't need them pushing their agenda one way or the other. I think everyone here is having an agenda, sadly. And but we cannot just ignore the mistakes that the prosecution is making. We cannot be blind. I know that some people they believe like this in law enforcement, but there's a lot of things that doesn't make sense, that were not transparent, and I don't know. Just saying. Hybrid. Thankfully, many there do very best to remain unbiased. Still, human nature factors. Yeah, for sure. Matt, the sticks were touched by the suspect. I would say that yes, they are evidence. Of course, of course, of course. They were touched by the suspect. They were placed on the bodies of the girls. They were in contact with the injuries. Of course, this is evidentiary. I don't know if those jurors are intelligent. I cannot imagine how they reacted when they hear that stupidity, that the sticks were not items of evidentiary value. That's one of the most stupid things I heard in this process, among others. Junior, I gotta go to bed. Gotta get up at 6:30. Thanks, Cryptex. Thank you, Junior, for being here. Have a good sleep. Sleep well. Sinclair, wasn't Richard Allen in Peru visiting his mother? And wasn't Keegan Klein and his dad at the gas station in Peru? Yeah. Good point. Good point. Cryptex, are you in Canada? I'm just outside of Ottawa. Yeah, I'm in Canada. Hybrid. I'm in Quebec, so we are really close. I didn't know you were here. And I think Matt is here too. Maybe in Toronto, Matt, I think. Sinclair, good night, Junior. Yeah, good night, Junior. Let's continue here with the chat. I still think they found something in the river too. Yeah, me too, I think so. Matt, if we look at the entirety of this investigation, we see them making every bit of absurd decision one can make. So the Wabash River search may just be another horrific choice by inept cops. Yeah, but that choice was very expensive. So when you have to take a decision where that amount of money and time is involved, maybe they think a little bit more. I don't know, just saying. But I accept there might be something to this. Yeah. Steve, I don't know which side is calling Keegan Klein, but if he is a key witness whose testimony is needed, you may be in trouble. Yeah, I think it's the defense who's calling Keegan Klein. And what I understand is that they expect those guys like Chadwell, like Keegan Klein, to give a testimony saying that they were like forced to make false confessions, and that's gonna be like in benefit of Richard Allen. But let's see. That's something to see. Cindy, Keegan Klein is a manipulator. He's a master of manipulation. He's not stupid. He's not stupid at all. He plays dumb, but he's the he's a master of manipulation. I agree with you, Cindy. Matt Sullivan. That said, I appreciate the civility cryptex and I appreciate any out of the box thinker. Bias is a human condition. Thank you, man. Appreciate it too. Dan's here. Hey Dan, what's going on with your channel, man? I'm waiting for that. You have to keep it alive. And Matt, I know you're posting a lot of stuff in your channel, but we miss your videos, man. For real, great videos. Sinclair, Matt, do you think Doc Carter will be asked to testify on the quality of the investigation? This is a good question, Sinclair. Very good question. Matt, Carter will avoid testifying somehow. I think he will see that he was limited capacity within the investigation. Yeah, but he had the FBI support, and apparently he didn't want that resource. So, Carter. Hybrid. Have you seen Reiki test? What is that? Let me go down a little bit here, guys. So, what else I had here for today? I think that was most of the things I had for today, guys. Just wanted to. Okay. Maybe I want to play something for you guys, and I want to see your opinion about this. Is a video I made this week. It takes just 1 minute, and I want to see what's your opinion about this. You know that I was always asking about the fact that Abby was nude and Libby was dressed. So I'm always thinking about that. What could be the best explanation for that? Because to me, it's like I was breaking my head. So I had this theory here, guys. I want to see what do you think about that, and please tell me what do you think. It's gonna take just 1 minute. Just gonna present that soon. Let me check here. Okay, here. I think it's here. So sorry, I found my mouse. My mouse is acting weird as usual. So let me know what do you think, guys, about this. It's gonna take 1 minute. So what do you think, guys? I think this is one of the explanations that makes more sense. After thinking a lot about that, that's what I think is the most viable explanation. But I don't know, guys. I want to hear your opinions about that. So let me go back a little bit in the chat here. Dogs, not it. Don't know what are you meaning about that. Okay, Matt. I think that he likely intended to dress both of them, but something scared him off in the process. That is simple conjecture. Yeah, I was thinking also about that option, but at the end, my theory now today is gonna change because I'm changing my my mind every single day maybe. But I think that when both of them were naked, he he went to attack Libby, and at that point, Abby took advantage to look for some clothes, and since the clothes were wet, the easiest way to redress herself was using Libby's clothes. So I think that makes sense to me today. And then the killer or the killers, they went after Abby. It's just a thought. Yeah, to me that makes sense today, but I don't know, guys. What do you think about that? Dan is just trolling a little bit. Never with cryptex. Yeah, you do it sometimes. no, don't worry about that. Dan, you don't seem like a troll to me, peacekeeper, but little trolling is okay. No, Dan is not a troll. The lack of defense wounds leads me to believe more than one perpetrator, and not only that. We heard last week that apparently or allegedly there were two type of weapons. So we have two types of weapons, two different body disposition, two different aggressions. Let's say one of the girls was attacked in a more violent way than the other one. We have two sketches. We have, to me, everything points to at least two perpetrators. So, yeah, good point. Matt, very possible explanation. Yeah, I think it makes sense. Jurors still remain the same. One alternate juror gone due to an emergency. Okay. I didn't know that. I knew that one of the jurors was missing today, and I was worried about the reason, because if sometimes you have jurors that are very smart, and with the sketchy things we are learning like every day here, maybe the savvy tech juror was not in the was not seen as in good eyes by the prosecution. So I was having some kind of suspicion about that. But if it was an emergency, okay, that explains things better at least. So guys, that was all for today. Thank you so much for being here. The usual suspects were here: Hiawatha, Johnson, Junior, and we had like VIP guests like Steve, Matt, Dan. So thank you guys. It was really cool to have you here. Let's keep in touch, and thanks for everything, guys. See you. Have a nice end of this Friday. See ya.